2. See, I can't even count. Y'all see that? All right. Yo, 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 yo. So listeners, check it out. Today is a little bit different on Hip-Hopcalypse because today I have an awesome group. I'm very honored to have this group on the show because man, they make some kick-ass music. It's not hip hop, but let me tell you, DJ MR.CHRIS listens to all kind of music, y'all. And I tell you, I fell in love with their album called Shelf Life. So today on Hip-Hopcalypse, ladies and gentlemen, I have two gentlemen that just really, ahead of their time. Gentlemen, why don't y'all introduce yourselves?
Hey, how's it going? We're Pink Laces. I'm Ian. I play guitar, I play bass, I play some keys and a little bit of drums for the band.
Okay.
I'm Elijah. I'm lead vocals, do a lot of production, drums, the rest of the things that Ian didn't list, basically.
So Ian, that's what I like, man. You a professional, bro, because see, so Ian went ahead and he went ahead and spoiled the introduction for me, but that's all good, Ian. Good point, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, today on Hip-Hopcalypse, I have Pink Laces. I have Ian and Elijah, man. Bro, thank you guys so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, okay. So
very happy to be here.
Yeah, man, let's just hop into it. So I heard the album, Shelf Life. And yes. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight up front and honest with you guys. I didn't know what to expect when I heard it. When I heard it, I said, this is an awesome album. Now, I'm a fan, and I'm not trying to say that you guys tailored your style, but I'm a fan of all different kind of music. And at first, the first listen, I was thinking like, man, it has a real ambient style, kind of like an Empire of the Sun. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Empire of the Sun, but kind of like an Empire of the Sun feel. Very melodic. It is very happy. It makes you think. Before we get into the album, though, how did you guys come together? What was that? What was that about? How did you guys come together?
So we actually met in high school. We were both in band, and Elijah had just moved to our town in his sophomore year, and okay. It was pretty easy for guys to make friends in high school. I think I just said some stupid joke, and Elijah thought it was funny, and we ended up just hanging out a lot. But we actually didn't even start like making real music together actually until this year. When I was home from school, I actually showed Elijah some demos that I was working on, just song-wise, and he really liked them, and we kind of just decided to make them full songs, and then we just eventually ended up making the album.
Nice. Okay, and so you guys put together this group. What was the influences? What was the catalyst to come up with this album? And when the listeners listen to this back, there's going to be some sound clips from your album, if you don't mind. But what was the catalyst? What was the main inspiration to come up with the music that you guys have created on this, Elijah?
It's funny. Well, we were quarantined together, and then we had a lot of like influences, just like musically. Like we were both into a lot of artists and stuff like that. But what really got us inspired was like, Ian like approached me and he was like, hey man, like I have like these demos, like let's do it. And as soon as I heard them, I was like, oh yeah, like let's like see if we could turn this into something, and then like more people listened, and then they were like, yo, like this can be like some serious stuff. So originally it was just like two guys having fun, and that was the original inspiration. But like since then, it just like became like, we think that we can do this, and that this is just what we're going for,
Right. You guys are doing a good job at it, man. You guys are doing a good job. One of my favorite tracks, and we'll touch on this, is my go-to track. Now you guys had on this particular EP, I think it's something like 4 or 5 or 6 tracks that's on it. One that I really gravitated to was actually called Zero Gravity. that's excellent, well written. It's a well disciplined track. Tell me the inspiration behind that.
So I actually started writing that when I was at home, and I was actually just playing guitar, which is kind of how I tend to write songs. I just kind of dink around on the guitar for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
and I turned on some like really gnarly effect, and I started playing that guitar line that kind of repeats throughout the song,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, oh man, this is kind of cool. So we started writing it, and it was like really the first full track that we got done. And kind of in the middle of the process, Elijah just was like, hey, I have an idea for the title of this track. I kind of want to call it Mr. Zero Gravity. And I was like, oh man, that's a way cooler title than I could have come up with. So he actually really got a lot done on that track in terms of vocals. That's, I think, what elevated the track to what it is now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, that's my my go-to track. And so for the listeners that's listening, this is an awesome EP. This is an awesome EP, and trust DJ Mr. Chris when I say this. I listen to it and I have my head nodding and banging, and this is the honest truth. I listened to the whole EP probably about 6 or 7 times because it was one of those things that you could tell that it was disciplined. You could tell that it was very heartfelt. And what you guys were able to do was to draw me into your world. Which is very influential, and that's one thing I think is especially up and coming artists, and for you guys to be able to do that in such a short time with gelling together and creating a chemistry together, that's really important. So I'll use that analogy as a segue. Now, your music to me is influential. What are some of the accolades that you have gotten from other people in the industry? And so, Elijah, don't want to touch too much on it because this is really about you. But you come from a famous background. You come from a background of musicians. You come from a background. Donnie Wahlberg is your father, if you don't mind me mentioning that. But what type of accolades have you guys have gotten in the industry with regards to your project so far?
I feel like accolades, but like we haven't like gone too crazy. Like you said earlier, like we're up and coming. We're still just trying to make it. But I think one thing that means a lot to us is that like we can show professionals and people in the industry our music, and they'll like respect it, which means that we can throw a punch just as good in the ring as anybody else.
Right.
And it just gives us a lot more motivation to keep going. Just to be able to be
and that's really and that's really good. And this question is for the both of you guys here. That's a really good question. So you come in, and I do like what you said, Elijah, that you could throw a punch. And so this is a well-received album, and you guys are taken seriously, not for who you know in the industry, but because you were genuinely songwriters and artists. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
I think
okay. And so Love Mayhem. Well, actually, let's go back to sleep. Let's go back to sleep. Another one of my favorites there. What's the inspiration behind that?
that was actually the first song I ever wrote. I was at home and I was talking to some friends from school, and I was just kind of playing the keyboard, and I just kind of held a chord and I just started playing notes beyond it, and that ended up being the intro to the song. So I wrote a couple parts for it, and then I took it to Elijah, and he was like, oh man, we could make this really awesome. So we wrote the first half of the song together, and then we were kind of thinking, we were like, what could we do for the end? And we're both really big fans of Tame Impala and his record Currents. And one of the songs on there has this awesome second half that's kind of a jam section, and like just instruments layering on top of one another. So we kind of just wanted to do that at the end. So that was just a really fun song to work on.
Mm-hmm. So what's the, as far as the chemistry, and you guys are up and coming, as far as the chemistry is concerned, when you think of bands and when you think of groups, okay, someone does a melody, then someone comes up with the vocals. Is that a true statement for you guys? Or are you more of the production and Elijah's more of the vocals, or how does that work between you two? Do you guys intertwine with that? I mean, are you respectful for each other's position, or do both of you guys just get into the salad bowl and say, hey, let's create? Elijah, you have a beautiful voice, man. Beautiful voice.
Thank
Both
you.
of you guys have a beautiful voice. But as far as the chemistry is concerned, how does that work between you two? Who does
I
what in a
think
group?
I think that we both have really complementary strengths, and you know, I often commemorate Ian because like he writes some of the most creative parts that I could never come up with, and like I just feel like when you put us together, like of course like he plays guitar, I can't. He plays bass, I can't. Like we both have a little bit of keyboard knowledge. He's got more than me. And then like, drumming was my primary instrument, and then I'm the singer.
Sure.
And then like he's like a way better songwriter than me. But like I just, it's not really about like who can do what. It's more just about like, we just get like us two creative can just like put things together like really well, I think, and it's only gotten better like since we began.
Mm-hmm. What I appreciate about this album, and I really don't do a good job with blowing smoke up people's tails, and so I'm gonna just be really honest with you. What I really appreciate this about this album, and once again to all of the listeners that's listening, Pink Lace's Shelf Life. You guys need to support these young men because they're doing their thing. What I really appreciate this album is fresh, it's new, and it's innovative. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's something that I've never heard before, but you guys have a dynamic twist behind it that's really appreciated. I really appreciate it. So with that said, moving forward, now you guys are garnering respect that's in the industry and amongst your peers and your fans. This was an EP. Are you guys working on an album now?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
We spent all summer writing songs, and we kind of ended up with like, I think more than 30 songs.
Jeez.
And so we started working on developing that into our next album. So
okay.
It's funny.
Oh, go ahead, Elijah.
Sorry, yeah. We actually deemed this summer studio summer because we just spent the whole time working on new music.
And will we be able to experience some of that freshness, some of that innovativeness on this upcoming album?
Very, very soon, yeah. You will be able to absolutely experience all of it.
Okay.
I think new freshness too, because I think after writing the songs, I think we had a lot more time afterwards just to kind of look at what we did and say, okay, well, what did we really like about this? What did we maybe want to change? What did we want to improve on? So we spent a lot of time writing songs that I think we thought were building upon what we had already worked on.
Okay. And so for you guys to be where you are as far as age and just coming up in the music industry, what are some of the tips that you've received from some of the legends and from some of the people that has heard your stuff? What are some of the tips that you received that you guys are holding on to dear to make your project and make your music better, to make you relevant in the industry? What are some of the tips that you heard?
I think one of the best ones that I've heard is just don't take yourself too seriously, because I think while we're trying to like really we're taking it seriously, of course, like we're working hard, writing new songs all the time and like trying to get our name out there. But I think one of the most important things that we take into consideration is that we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't enjoy it. So,
okay. How
Agreed.
So Elijah, this one is for you. How much of Pink Laces is passion versus career? Is there and it may sound crazy, but for me, for an example, I have a regular 9-to-5 job. I'm also, I'm also a DJ as well. Podcasting here, I've just been lucky and I've been blessed to be able to interview fine people such as yourself as well as many others. But how much of this, as far as the group, and you can speak for the group, is passion versus hunger and starving that we're going to make this? We have to do this. We have to make this. In correlation with what Ian just said, you can't take yourself serious. And so is there that thirst, is that their hunger for you guys to excel and be one of the top premier bands that's out in the industry?
I'll put it like this. I think that we're both more than hungry to be famous. We're both really hungry to be great,
Perfect.
Like I would rather just be recognized as a pair of great musicians, great artists, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, both of us are like ridiculously passionate about it. And, you know, I think at this point, like, you know, it's something that we both just put in a really important position in our lives. So, you know, I mean, whatever direction it goes, I'll follow, because that's just what it is. But I'll, like, you know, if we become huge, hey, that's awesome. And if but as long as we're doing it and it's making us happy, that's like the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You know, I know when I was coming up in the realm and I wanted to be the hugest MC in the world, you know, we were starving. That was a goal to be, you know, hey, listen, we got to be big, man. We got to do this and we got to do that. But the one thing that I can say that we didn't have is we had the passion, but we didn't put things into perspective to do. And this is what happens to a lot of artists: do what makes you happy. You seem to kind of, you know, people seem to flock to what's popping and what's happening out in the streets. The get famous quick, get real quick schemes out there, but not really following what their passion and what their desire is within themselves. And so, much appreciated. Thank you guys so much. In the next few years here, where do you guys see yourselves at?
Hopefully still doing this. I think we're really happy with what we've done so far. So I think a big goal for us right now is just to continue on what we've built. Like, I think all that time is going to provide for us is improvement on what we've done. So I think developing our craft, putting stuff out there, and just becoming better artists, I think that's just a goal for the future.
And Elijah, I know that you know, I know that you probably know a lot about the industry, but so this one is a little bit more catered to Ian here. What are your thoughts about the industry since you're in it now? Are you learning the ups and the downs of the music industry? How does it make you feel?
I mean, I will say it's been nice having a lot of people along the way to help us out. Like Elijah and his dad were huge in helping me understand like songwriting and producing and all of that. And I think we have a lot of people that are helping us out in this process. We have a great team behind us that definitely helps us get through, you know, the industry, whether that be like social media or visual stuff. It's really awesome to have them by. So I think one of the most important things I've learned is that it's really difficult to go in alone. So having someone there, whether that be a bandmate or a team, is just super important.
And Elijah, I know that you mimic that statement. I know you probably seen some of the bumps and the bruises, not necessarily firsthand, but you probably heard some horror stories as well. And so, with that said, the one thing that I do like about you guys, I love your image. I like I like the togetherness that you guys have. I've seen a couple of the promo pictures, and I was just like, you know, they have an interesting chemistry, and how much effort goes in to protect that? Because quite naturally, the albums come, the notoriety come, the popularity comes, so on and so forth. Then some of the outside influences come. So, what do you guys do to protect the integrity of your group?
I mean, we're friends first, you know.
Perfect.
That's just it. And you know, it's like regarding anything from the outside, it's like, you know, I'm never gonna let something from the outside. Like, I'll never listen to any of that, you know. And I like I think we're one, too close to let anything like that happen, but two, like, you know, we're not the type of people to get so like caught up in anything like that, you know. I don't think we're really thinking about the fame or the money or anything like that. I mean, of course we're still coming up, so that's not even something that we can think about yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, if it were to happen, I don't even think that that's something that we prioritize as much as just like making great music and being friends that do it together. So
Man, that's awesome. So, both of you guys, uh, why don't you let the listeners know where they can find you at on social media, as well as anything that you would like the listeners to know. Um, Ian, Elijah, why don't we start with you?
All right. Well, on socials, you can find us at Pink Laces Music. That's our handles on just about everything. And our website is pinklacesmusic.com. And I don't know, just regarding what I would like the fans to know, Pink Laces isn't stopping anytime soon.
Word up. Word up. Now, you guys are you guys in the Massachusetts area or Chicago?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually I go to school up in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay. Okay. So, well, I was way off the mark here. Okay. So you're in Chicago. Big ups from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Um, okay. And so, how often do you guys get together and meet? Is it like one of those things? Are you doing everything virtually now, or?
I mean, we did a lot this summer, which I think was a priority for us because I think we knew that, going back to school, we weren't going to have as much time to collaborate. But, we always try and find ways to communicate. We're still always trying to get work done, write new songs, create new music. So we're doing that. And, as much as like school is priority for like us, I think we both want this to succeed too. So we are putting in the time, whether or not we're together, to make sure this is all working out.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, Ian, what would you like the listeners to know about Pink Laces, if there's anything that hasn't been covered, as well as your Instagram handles and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, our Instagram, Pink Laces Music, Twitter, Pink Laces Music, website, pinklacesmusic.com. You can check out our music there. You can check out our merch there, and you can also contact us at the emails there. And, as for anything I'd like them to know, Pink Laces is only going to get bigger and better. So
I believe it. I believe it. And again, I'm not trying to blow smoke, but really, I believe it. This is a kick-ass album. Shelf Life. It's after I get off of this call, I'm going to listen to it again. I just don't say things to say it, guys. I'm being sincere with you. This is a kick-ass album, man.
thank you so much.
Good job. Very well disciplined. And I will definitely be letting everyone know that this is an up and coming group that not only do you need to listen to, but you need to take some notes and take some notes and pay a little bit, pay a lot of respect to this group because you guys are behind, or not behind, but you guys are ahead of your time. And when you get two elements like that, two people that has the same desire and the same passion, as well as the same vision, nothing but good things is going to come out of it. You guys has been great. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the show. Real talk, man. You guys has been great. I look forward to every and anything that you guys have to offer with regards to my hearing, with regards to my eardrums, because it's been delightful. It's been really delightful. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's DJ MR.CHRIS with Pink Laces. Pink Laces. Give anybody a shout out that y'all want to give out before we leave.
Yo, this one's for our manager, Josh. Super clutch.
Yeah. Shout out, Josh. We wouldn't be here without you.
Okay. Does Josh have a last name so I can make sure to put him in a mention? Does he have a handle or something like that?
Yeah, Josh Venziano and his brother Jaden, because he designs all of our merch.
Right, that's what's up. Yeah, I know. I seen some hats on Instagram. It looked like it was some bucket hats or something like that. So, pretty tight, pretty dope. So, ladies and gentlemen, your boy DJ MR.CHRIS did it again. Got Pink Laces. Man, these boys, they're gonna be blowing up. And I get the opportunity to say that I presented y'all with Pink Laces for y'all eardrum. That's what's up, y'all. Make sure that y'all go and support Pink Laces, buy their merch, and make sure that y'all buy their music, mostly importantly. So visit them at their social media that was mentioned in this interview. And much love to each and every single one of y'all.